got a lot of energy these days. So we might as well just talk about this a little bit. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen the video on Patreon yet, I recommend it. It's an hour and 20 minutes, where I talk about this particular Japanese artist that blames the zombie audience for the rise in slop, but also how the newest new Jump magazine, it's not Jump, it's a Kodansha magazine, how that is actually a Trojan horse. And man, was I greatly disappointed and demoralized to see that, are these people serious? You know, are these Japanese people actually serious? Are they out here really playing with people's minds like this? It just shows that, you know, they really are not in control anymore of their own industry. They really need other people, foreigners in particular, to start selling their stuff. Ryuga, the topic is in the title, bro. I mean, doesn't the title appear when you click the video? I mean, I'm looking at it right now from a different computer. I mean, from my phone. The topic is right there. Japanese artist blames zombie audience for rise in slop. That's the title, bro. You know? Anyway, that's what we're gonna be talking about while I try to play this game over here. Well, the full context of what artist doesn't matter for this video. The full context is found on Patreon, bro. Remember, I do have to gatekeep. I do. Right? I can't just give out value for scot-free. So those who are interested in the full context of who is this artist in particular, you'll find that on the Patreon. But you can still understand the points that I'm gonna be making here, you know. So let me just get back into the game here. Okay, so there's this Japanese artist, I forgot his name, don't remember his name, but he recently made a post about, you know, the rise in most people being intellectually bankrupt to the point where they cannot understand nuance, and so they cannot appreciate stories that have depth, that have more than just dopamine in it. So he was very upset about this, and he mentioned how, you know, over the years he's been seeing the rise in this. And in the Patreon video, I made it clear that no, there has not been a rise in this. Hunchbacks and the dim-witted have always been there with us. The only difference now is that your awareness to this retardation is much stronger, because most of us are no longer distracted by a bright future that we might have gotten, since the oligarchs have made sure to that, right? And we're not distracted anymore by quality stories anymore, because those who wrote the quality stories, they have either passed away or they sold the rights, sold their IPs to the corporations. And the corporations have turned those stories into a mess. And an example of that is the legend of Korra. You know, I wanted to like Korra. I just like the action. I like the dopamine in it, but honestly, it's a disgrace. The ending, Korra being, you know, a carpet muncher. In the end, what else? And the new Avatar that was announced by Nickelodeon right now, it's a complete disaster. A brown girl whose twin brother is not brown and she has a wooden leg. I bet you she's also into girls. Bruh, like am I supposed to say to that? What are we supposed to say to that? But hey, I saw that coming. Right? I saw that coming. Now the Japanese artist blames the audience, the zombie audience, for this decay. But I argue that no, there's always been zombies. It's just back then there was a lot of garbage, right? But there was also a lot of good things, also good stories that were coming out. And the thing is, the zombies back then did not have the full license to ridicule people, to run on the internet and start talking that hot garbage, right? They weren't doing that because it was not generally accepted, right? So now it is accepted thanks to the cancel culture stuff, and that's how it is, right? So the Japanese artist is looking at it one-dimensionally, that he believes that the rise in the zombies have resulted in companies trying to cater to them. And I'm saying there have always been the same amount of zombies. It's just the storytellers who can tell quality stories, they've retired. I mean, look at George Lucas, right? The guy retired and he sold his goods to Disney. And Disney, of course, obliterated what Star Wars was. But the guy retired. He didn't think Disney would ruin things like that. I don't really blame him. He thought it was in good hands because, hey, it's Disney, right? So I understand why the dude thought maybe this will be okay, but it wasn't. And so these companies now really, they just trying to do the bare minimum and make the most money. And they are catering to the same number of zombies who have always been there, because the artists and the writers who could write quality stories have retired, or the ones that are still around, it takes time for them to produce a quality story, right? And that's the main thing. Look at Kentaro, right? Creator Berserk, how many hiatuses did the guy have to go through in order to, get Berserk to where it is? It takes a lot of reflection and thinking, and envisioning the future for your characters and so on when writing a quality story. But slop stories, there's no need to think at all. You just have to fulfill the dopamine. And I mean, that's exactly Jujutsu Kaisen, if we're being honest, right? It's Jujutsu Kaisen through and through. The author of Jujutsu Kaisen just was trying to supply that dopamine. He was not trying to create any nuance. When something showed the potential of there being any nuance, well, he abandoned it. Things that quality or genuine consumers wanted to see. Some lore, a different environment where there are other sorcerers and so on that he hinted at. We wanted to see that, but he didn't show it because he didn't have to, understanding that, I just want to get the bag here, and these hunchbacks will allow me to get the bag at their worthless expense. So in the end, Jump understands this too, and allowed this to take place and happen. So what are we? I can't really blame the audience, which is the zombie in particular, for existing. They've always been here since the beginning of time, right? The Japanese artists that we're talking about technically should be blaming the Japanese companies that require an insane, inhuman level of quality production at a high quantity. That's not possible. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. Either you get quality or you get quantity. You can't have both. You can't have Kentaro doing Berserk at a monthly pace. It's impossible. All the good bits of Berserk came because Kentaro had time to think. He had time to think, you know? So imagine if he didn't have time to think. A lot of these artists who work at a weekly basis, they get fried because, again, it's at a weekly basis. When I think about My Sucker Academia, I think Horikoshi, he didn't have time to reflect about Deku's future, honestly. He wrote himself into somewhat of a corner, I would say. And he made so many characters and tried to give them some value in the story. But if you ask me, it was a compensation for a lack of an appealing main character. So seeing that, the dude was like, man, I don't know how I can make Deku better right now. I don't have the time to reflect and think. If I take time off, it's usually during Golden Week, which is like 2 weeks, once a year. And you take time off if you're sick or something, you know, if not Golden Week. And, you know, that obviously is going to not help an author recharge and put his ideas on paper properly, right? Because the editor is on his neck saying, look, man, you need to get these pages out, these chapters out as soon as possible. And thus destroying what? The quality of it, because there's such a fixation on the quantity. So you cannot have both at the same time. You can only have one. So this Japanese artist, he should be looking at his own, toxic side of Japanese culture, which is the work culture. It's unsustainable, completely unsustainable, right? And he doesn't do that. He wants to blame the zombies whom he thinks are rising, and I am saying they've always been there, bro. They've always been there. It's only now that you're noticing because, well, your safety nets for comfort and distraction has fallen away. It's no longer the same as it used to be. So, tough, you know? I'm gonna read the comments in a second. Let me just try to kill this dude. If I can. If I can. And probably not. This character is fun to fight against. Grappler. But he's very tricky. Okay. The rise of Slop creators is also to blame. You know, bro, I wouldn't say, yes, of course there is a rise in Slop creators, monkey creators, hunchback creators, but these people, in a way, they hide behind the statement of, I'm just having fun, you see. I'm just having fun. And I would say, you can't take these people seriously. But the companies are slightly to blame also, right? Jump and all these other ones are not willing to take risks anymore, even with a quality story, because if they see that it's actually real quality, they'll be like, man, I don't think this guy can actually keep producing at a high quantity and maintain the same quality. And understanding that, he is forsaken, right? It's not like there aren't any quality creators. It's just they are purposely thrown to the wayside because most likely the editors know that, yeah, he's not going to be able to keep up the pace over here at all. And knowing that, well, they have to let them go, you know. JJK for me is a definition of zombie food, just fighting, and the MC isn't even the MC, he's just a guy, how stuff happens to him. Yeah, pretty much. You know, JJK shows us basically the modern human, the modern human basically, as to he's not living his life. Things just happen to him and he just has to, well, either deal with it or adapt at the moment, but he has no real personal goals of his own. He's just waiting for things to happen and he hopes that they can be interesting, right? He doesn't have a dream of going somewhere, of doing something, and so he cannot inspire the rest of us to, well, get up and do something ourselves, because they themselves were not doing anything. They were lost, they were boring, they were losers, just sitting there, not doing anything. Hirokoshi is a he, thought it was a chick. Nah, it's a guy. Korra being bi was done so at least the rainbow community would praise the show. Views were dropping every episode. It was a disaster. Oh, yeah, because Korra is an extremely unlikable character. She's a girl boss, full of herself, not humble whatsoever, a complete loser, honestly. Even when she was a kid, I'm the avatar, you have to deal with it. Ugh, just insufferable, completely insufferable. And you think that she would grow, you know? You think that she would develop, her character would be better, but not really. Even when she got injured in season 3 and into 4 when she's trying to heal, it's like, woman, you're not really trying here, honestly. You are not really trying at all. So, oh well. By that time, the writers already sold the IP to the dogs. So go figure. Problem is creators like Tyler, etc., who just want to have a silly goose time instead of making. Yeah, you see, someone like Tyler has always been a zombie, has always been a silly goose moron who's existed. He is a grifter, right? Who tries to make a life for himself, right? Or not even make a life in particular, but who tries to win attention and have a sense of importance by using comics as a means, as a vehicle to do exactly that. Because in the real world, I mean, just look at Tyler. Dude's looks like a literal hunchback, right? There's no way in the real world this guy would get positive attention like that, right? So the best way to get positive attention is to create some popular comics, well, the idea of a popular comic, and try to make everybody feel good, and that's why you play nice and have a silly goose time. And just like that, you build your own little tribe of degenerates. And yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did. But we all should have been able to see this a mile away. That, Tyler is somebody that's always been a hunchback, always been a zombie, and it's nothing really to be mad about at this point. You know, the Japanese guy shouldn't be mad about this. He says, you know what, he tried to give a command, a suggestion to the creators, the genuine creators. He said, oh, we should try to do this and that. And I'm like, bro, how do we achieve that? You're not giving people a direction here. And that's the real problem. You know, it's no different to these grifters, I suppose, like Critical Drinker and a bunch of people who are in the gaming community who are talking about games being bad, and payment processes screwing over games and other media. They don't have a call to action. They don't have a game plan at all. They don't even try to have a game plan. Look at Asmongold, right? The guy is a millionaire, worth millions of dollars, but he's still living in his messed up, nasty, ugly, rat-infested house instead of spending that money to build something, right? It's like, look, Asmongold, you have all this money, and for what reason if you don't use it then? For what reason? You just want to sit and complain? Why don't you pay artists and good writers to do something good? Why don't you do that? I mean, Corey Kenshin, I wouldn't say he tried to do that with good intentions. He did that because he was doing the black thing, right? Oh, when I saw Rikage, it was so inspiring because he was black and powerful. Like, nigga, what? You cannot be serious. But yeah, it was not with true intentions that Corey Kenshin did what he did. He just wanted to brag about what he's doing. Mangaka nowadays lack the will to continue pushing through hardship. Well, bro, I mean, let's ask ourselves why. The world is not the same anymore, right? It's not the same. It's not easy. It's not easy, right? I understand why their will is not the same. Japan and its economic meltdown in the 90s really obliterated their worldview in a way, or I should say their will to life and their will to power. Not only was their spirit crushed by America dropping the nuke on them, right? But when they had their economic boom, right? And they were buying real estate here and there, buying even foreign assets and whatnot. I mean, that was them in their prime after losing their prime as a warrior race, right? They became a powerful economic race, but they ended up losing even to that when the markets went down. So you can imagine a lot of people who were born in the 90s, who saw their fathers, saw their parents so disastrously depressed, right? And have no will to fight because those parents who gave birth to the children of the 90s had their parents survive the nuclear bomb, survive their cultural decline from the warrior spirit to, what they are. It's very demoralizing. So, we can't really talk that bad about them as to like, oh, they don't have the will to survive hardship. Look, hardship cannot be eternal. There must be a time when all your efforts and your faith is rewarded. You can't always just keep pushing the boulder up a mountain like you've been punished by Zeus, right? So that's the thing. I cannot blame them, bro. I understand. All I can say is I understand. I really do. It's a messy situation to be in. It's a damn shame. But at the end of the day, those of us who are in perhaps better circumstance a little bit, right? Who still have the will to life, the will to power, then you are supposed to be doing what they cannot do. Because you clearly must have more hope than they do. The Japanese are without hope now. You can't keep working hard if you know full well you'll never get out of the dungeon. Doesn't make any sense to keep on working hard if that's the case, right? Oh damn, you can't pause in this game. JJK art style is a direct result from that. JJK author lost passion a long time ago. You can see it in the story and art. Even Fujimoto is also in the same position. Oh yeah, but again, there's no reward for going all in. There's no reward for it. Remember, as I said, quality takes time. You cannot produce quality at a weekly basis. You can't. At least not anymore, that's for sure. You can't though, right? It's not sustainable. I mean, even Toriyama dipped in quality eventually. He dipped, right? Like, what do you expect? So, yeah, that's the problem, really. All these artists will lose the passion because the editors are not going to allow them, to, well, go all out because there's no time to go all out. There's really no time at all. So, knowing that, you cannot really blame them, bro. Man, die, damn it. There we go. The audience spread the infection. Well, look, they spread the infection when people let them in. That's why I talk about gatekeeping all the time, right? You cannot include everybody. This inclusive trash is exactly what has buried industries, bro, buried communities. Because, oh, we have to let everybody in and be inclusive. No, F that. There's a reason, companies would focus on demographics, right? If you include everybody, a lot of the people whom you're trying to include are toxic monsters that want to see the world burn, who are jealous and envious freaks who would just prefer that you end up messing up your IP so they can laugh at you, right? Remember what Green Goblin said to Spider-Man in the first one. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. That is very, very true. You need to close the gate. I'm closing the gate using Patreon. People who want the full context of this Japanese artist, where we look at his statement, we look at some retard who tried to rebuttal him, right? And only ended up proving his point. That, you see, you are part of the audience. You are proving my point. You're proving my point here that you people do not understand. You're one-dimensional. You're one-dimensional and you just want to be right all the time. And when you know that you can't be right, you want to attack someone's character. You want to get into semantics and stuff like that. This is what I'm talking about. When the gate is open, bro, this stuff happens. So the gate must be closed. If you don't close the gate, such a thing will keep happening. Toriyama is underrated as an artist. He looks like he draws stylized because he doesn't know how to draw more detailed, but in the Dragon Ball volume covers, you can see how well he can draw. Well, exactly. Because he had more time to prepare for those covers. Berserk is of the high quality that it is because he had time. He would take long hiatuses. Same thing with Vagabond. I mean, if you actually assess the author of Vagabond, he clearly has nothing more to say at this point. He has nothing to say. He has nothing to say, and he doesn't want to force himself to say what he doesn't mean, right? So he's taking a long hiatus. I mean, it's been, 15 years? Point is, when you have nothing to say, you should just go away. Because all these other artists who have nothing more to say anymore, the editor keeps telling them, yo, say this then, say that, and it becomes a complete catastrophe. You see? So if you don't have anything to say, just leave it alone. It is better to just leave it alone instead of just forcing things. Did you hear Michael Bay is coming back to Transformers since the last two films flopped? Yeah, I heard, but I also heard he's going to shoot Skibidi Toilet. Don't know why. But bro, come on. Even if he comes back, do you really think the producers are going to allow him to do something good? Of course not. Anyone who has hope in anything Hollywood is supplying, then you haven't learned your lesson. Quality art needs more than just weekly. Yeah, I mean, look at Michelangelo and the Renaissance artists. It would take them 3 years to make one painting. Quality takes time. Korra season 2 made me say, is this a joke? She just gets a Susan and beats the Dark Avatar. Think about it. Started with a Water Tribe civil war, which was interesting, to evil Avatar versus Avatar. Yeah, yeah, bro. Can you make a video on Rent a Girlfriend? Hey, bro, I've seen videos about that. I've never read it, right? So that would require too much research on my end, because I've never read Rent a Girlfriend. I never watched the anime. I heard that the artist for Rent a Girlfriend actually ended up falling in love with his character. Now, if that's true, then oh my goodness, right? Then oh my damn goodness, bro. So I don't know, but there's a not documentary, but there's a video about him and his process and his life and whatnot. So you can go watch that. But as for the drama behind it, I don't know enough, and I don't have the time to research everything about that. Um, wow, I've never played with Troubleshooter before. He is pretty OP, but it looks like I'm gonna lose. Yep. Fujimoto just wants to be a writer. He probably should. His writing is good mostly and criticizes culture without being preachy. Really? Really, bro? I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, Denji out there getting hand jobs in Chainsaw Man. So, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. If you're talking about Fire Force, I didn't read it. If you're talking about that other one shot he made, I didn't read it. So he might be a good writer indeed, but Going to Jump clearly screwed him over, and he just wanted a quick bag, and now he has it, and now he's throwing everybody under the bus. So go figure. Um, oh damn! Come on, Berserker. Dude is blocking everything? No way. This is bull crap. How the you have no health bar left? Yeesh. Gege is not a good artist. No, he's terrible. His art is bad. It's lazy. He even traces 3D models. He's terrible compared to Horikoshi. He's a joke. Gege hides his lack of skill with his style. Nicely said. I agree. The guy sucks. Plain and simple. He just sucks, man. And I think he's always known that. And, well, he just managed to create some slop that has a lot of dopamine and a couple of waifus. And he scored big. Oh, damn. Whoa. Phew, that was close. Shin Ichi Sakamoto. Very cool. Okay. Agreed, the zombie wants to lash out when shown a mirror instead of reflecting on what they've been shown. Exactly. Exactly. Yo, Coffee, you ever get into Third Strike? Man, Third Strike is difficult. I have Third Strike, not on my computer, but on this other console that I have, a retro emulator. It's hard, bro. It's truly difficult. Like, I tried, man. I'd rather play Street Fighter 4, 5, and obviously 6. But I would say my favorite Street Fighter right now is Street Fighter 5. I like 6, but 5 just got something. It's got something. Damn it, Berserker. Whoa. So, yeah, there's a skill issue. I am not very good at all at third strike. Now he's criticizing America, etc., and Slopper's happy for that, not realizing he also criticized Japanese government in part 1 as well. What do you mean, Death Extreme? Are you talking about the Japanese artist? He's criticizing America? So he just free shooting right now. Okay, well, I guess he's frustrated. Oh, Fujimoto. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why he's doing that. I don't know why he's doing that. But yeah, the Japanese have this insane resentment towards the West because the West obliterated them, you know. And I understand, but it's like, are you going to adapt or what, Japan? In the end, I would say the Japanese empire culture has been artificially surviving. Not that it's actually been thriving, you know. It's been artificial ever since. Ever since they got crushed. It's very sad, man. It's very sad. And now that the gates are opened in Japan, you know, the gaijins can come in there and dance on the train and act a damn fool. Yeah, it ain't looking too good. Their time is up. I mean, their birth rates are very low and so on. Not as low as South Korea. So, yeah. But it's still pretty awful. I mean, apparently, last year? 800,000 people died and from natural causes. And of course, I'm sure some tragedies. But only 200,000 people were born. That is totally below the replacement rate, you know. So, yeah, Japan is definitely sinking. I'm sure by 2050, there'll be nothing left. But oh well, everything comes to an end, y'all. And they will tell you, well, this is why we have to open the gates, because our locals are not having babies. Gee, I wonder why they're not having babies. Maybe make society affordable. But even if it was affordable, you know, you can't just have kids. Like, humans used to have kids for a good reason back in the day. For their own survival. You get too old, you're going to need your children, grandchildren to take care of you. There was no medical aid. Children were the medical aid. The more the merrier, right? You needed help in the farm. Not that you owned it. You were a peasant working on the feudal master's land and so on. The more hands, the better amongst the peasants. Like, why has this history been forgotten? Why do people think that such a thing didn't happen? Have we all just consumed too much Lord of the Rings and too much medieval European anime fantasy? Because definitely the reality was something rather disastrous. Are you using a fight stick? I'm using a controller. I came from the arcade days and it took a little while to adapt to the keys. Nah, I'm using a controller, bro. Always been a controller guy. Coffee, do you listen to anything when you draw? Yes, I do. And do you have any tips to keep drawing for longer? Actually, no, I don't, sadly. I don't always listen to something, but I prefer to listen to gameplay or an anime soundtrack. And if you for drawing longer, honestly, I don't even have the advice. I can't draw as long as I like anymore, mostly because of my eyes. You know, I wear like two glasses at the same time in order to make sure my eyes don't burn. So yeah, and even when I do that, my stamina for drawing for long periods of time is no longer the same. I don't want to blame age. It's just I don't know what to blame, but it's just not the same. It's not what it used to be. So, oh well. Um, just picked up reading Night Light Hounds of Manga Plus. Very good pacing and art. Yeah, very good pacing. Though I don't like the premise, so I dropped it. Though I could tell that yeah, this is a good story. I don't though like the main character. I think he's too chilled. He's too average for me, you know. So I found it boring. Though this I can tell that there is something good here, but what can I say? I just didn't like the main character, bro. Just didn't find him appealing. I reached out to Rash Reviews a month ago for a review, and he said he would check it out. I still haven't gotten a response. How long did yours take? Yeah, you know, Rash is trying to. He's going through a lot, bro. Um, he's going through a lot. Him and I recorded something that he was supposed to edit as well. He hasn't gotten around to do it. So I don't know what's happening, but you might as well just leave it alone, bro. Because, yeah, guy is going through some stuff. Might as well just forget it. War Devil got a power up because America reinvented nuclear weapons and started singing the American anthem. What? Plus, Statue of Liberty was one of her weapons. Wow. Unreal, man. Unreal. Okay. The US gave them a bunch of money out of pity. That is why they had a boom. Yeah, totally. I agree. I agree. They did. Um, but in the end, the Japanese spirit was utterly crushed, and they tried to resurrect it artificially using money. They tried to relive that warrior spirit through their manga and anime, but by creating such stories, you know, back in the day. And it's just not the real thing. It's not the real thing, man. It's just an attempt to live in that fantasy. It's a shame, but it's not the real thing. And so they were doomed from the very beginning. Yeah, that birth crash is real, bro. It is real. Uh, Man, I hate fighting against Crusader. Dude is almost OP sometimes. Um, Birth rates are down in the US too. It's the times. Bro, they are down in South Africa as well. Well, mostly for native South Africans. Most people having children now in this country are the foreigners, bro. The foreigners are having more children than native South Africans. It's crazy, right? And of course, it's the same thing everywhere. The dudes jumping the gate are coming in with 4 kids already, and then they go in there and have more kids, outbreeding the natives, right? Changing the entire culture over there from within. It's nuts, man. It's totally nuts. It is the times. It is decadence, and oligarchs know that. Yeah, look, we do want to replace these people, and we'll replace them with third worlders that never had rights anyways. They will be happily exploited, and there's nothing they can do about it. It's a mess. It's a total mess. Come on, Crusader. Get out of my way. I wish there was a pause button. How is there no pause in this game? It needs you to lock in all the time. I find it sad that all major countries and cities like Paris, London are not the way they are used to. I know, bro. Me too. Me too. Like, it's demoralizing. It's demoralizing. It's not ever going to be the same. It won't return to what it was. Because at the end of the day, you know, the people of these major cities open the gates themselves. You know, the oligarchs convince the politicians that they should let you know who to vote. And you know who, with their absurd level of compassion to the point where it, you know, throws logic to the side, they said, no, let them in. And so they came in, and now here we are. So, yeah, what can you do, bro? What can you do? That's why I understand hedonism now, why people can go into absurd hedonism. It's a sense, it's the admission of powerlessness, that now I'm just going to try to maximize pleasure because I have no control over my country, my life, my anything. So, oh well. Natality is down cause too expensive. Well, there's that too. There's that too, bro. A lot of people have been downsizing since 2020, bro. Like, honestly, things were still cheap in 2020, even though we were locked away, you know, trapped in our homes. And then you know what happened. So-called Ukraine and Russia, and apparently all the food of the world came from Ukraine, and so they jacked up the food prices. Can you believe such garbage, bro? They're telling us here that sunflower oil comes from Ukraine. Ukraine is the breadbasket of the world when it comes to wheat. That's utter nonsense, right? Complete garbage. But it was enough. It was totally enough. Then the gas prices went up as well, because most of our oil and whatnot comes from Russia. Like, man, give me a break, bro. Give me a break. All they needed was a retarded scapegoat, as they are using right now, to censor certain video games that either have, you know, adult themes or even horror themes. They are censoring it. Not even censoring it, they are removing it from the marketplace. They always need a scapegoat. No matter how dim-witted, it's enough for them. So, oh well. My paycheck, not even enough for an apartment in the US. Dude, that is just the saddest thing ever, man. You know, you end up having to live in a room in somebody's house. People who own homes in the US, or even here, you have to move out of your own house so you can go rent, and then rent out your own house. Bro, like, that's insane, right? I have an apartment that I'm renting out, right? I know I have this grandpa who bought a house this year here in South Africa. He came back from Australia. He bought a house, and in an area that he grew up in, nice forest and all of that, but cost of living is too high, that he had to move out and rent out his own house. Now he's renting, bro. And this is an old man, by the way. He grew up in a time when things obviously were much better. It wasn't perfect, but it was livable, you know. There was greater access to things. So now, I just, seeing him go through this is just so painful, bro. Like, yeesh. Very, very painful. But it's reality, you know. And so the downsizing is real out here. Totally real. People out here taking them photos like they have complete control of everything. It's like, nah, bro, you don't have control, man. Stop lying. I'm feeling that too. I'm here in Cali, and ish feels like a cyberpunk dystopia. Oh, Cali. Oh, man. All the movies we used to watch about California, bro, those days are gone. I've seen, I mean, it always depends where you are, but in general, I know Gruesome Newsom, the governor over there, been jacking things up on purpose, of course, you know. It just ain't it. And seeing zombies walk around each time where you live, you know, it ruins your soul. It ruins the part of you that needs to absorb metaphysical, the metaphysical part of your environment in order to be inspired, in order to be motivated to do something, you know? You have to feel safe in order to produce your work, you know, to create a story, to write a story. You need to feel safe. You need to feel comfortable, at ease. Your mind has to be in a good place. Even Torishima said this, that Toriyama was able to produce what he did because he always had peace of mind. This is something that we have been robbed of. They robbed us of our peace of mind, you know? And when your peace of mind is robbed, how the heck you going to really produce anything properly? You're not. You're just not. Ah, damn it. People aren't like you. They don't watch documentaries for fun and find history for boring. Yeah, like, I understand that. Because people like us who do like documentaries and read history, we are the minority. We are those who are possessed by the will of truth. We find stimulation in facts. That's what stimulates us. Most humans find stimulation in garbage, right? In joining the crowd, in being hidden in the crowd, to hide away their insignificance, to feel powerful because they have a big number on their side. But ultimately, right, it is just a means to hide that fact that, oh man, I'm actually useless and I can't do anything for myself. So, yeah, it sucks, but that is most humans. Again, I keep reiterating, this is why you're supposed to gatekeep, right? Because you can't have these zombies walking amongst us, even coming into our midst and trying to give us talking points that they themselves don't understand. I'm gonna have to stay in PR to gain a profit. Do what you gotta do, bro. American history is boring and very bloody. Is there a history, honestly, that isn't? I mean, you know, now that you think about it, I haven't gone in depth with American history. But I would say that's probably because I don't want to say it's boring, but if anything, for a lack of better words, it's boring because there aren't any heroes. There is no mythology behind America's, inception. There's no real mythology. You can, if you look at British history, there's a lot of mythology around Britain. That Britain was founded by the King Brutus, you know, a long time ago in the time of the giants. And from King Brutus came a bunch of other figures that we might know, like King Arthur, Merlin, and so on. You see, a country has an interesting history if there's a piece of mythology attached to it. America doesn't have mythology attached to it. It just doesn't. You know, and that's what makes it boring, I guess. So, yeah. It's the same having children to work the farm. Global corporate plantation. Sucks. And it sucks to think of bringing children to this beast system. Bruh, I know, man. Like, I don't know what people are thinking if they have more and more kids. I mean, unless you can afford to protect them. Literally, you have enough money to keep them away from the garbage. Okay, fine. But most of people don't anymore, right? Those who want to keep having children are either the well-off who can afford it, or the dim-witted who are just having one-night stands at the liquor store. And that's all there is to it. Sadly. Have you tried jogging or working out? It really gets the blood flowing and removes tiredness. Bro, I'm all about exercise. I mean, come on now. I'm not tired per se. If you think I don't have energy to draw, drawing is not completely a physical thing. It's a mental thing, right? So, yeah, me not having the energy to draw for long periods got nothing to do with me being physically inadequate. It's not that at all. It's just it's just different. Things are just different now. In order to be sustainable, I do not push myself to the utmost limit because I don't have to. And besides, my pace of doing things is still faster than most people. After all, I'm the one with 3 books, right? So I could have finished book 4 this year as well, but I got screwed over. And I still could have finished it, but I'm working on the magazine now, so I'm gonna put that on the back burner. So, yeah. But hey, you definitely gotta jog. It's just winter here right now. It's very hard to exercise when you're like freezing. It's like, it's very, very cold, bro. Hands and feet always cold. I don't have a heater, and also to preserve heat, gotta do the bare minimum. Man. Why won't this mother sucker die? There we go. But I mean, it's up to me to continue my genes since my sister doesn't want kids. Bro, who told you you have to have kids, man? Don't. If you see what's happening, look, if you have enough money, go ahead and have your kids, man. Do whatever you want. But if you know that your kids are going to be asking you, Dad, why are we poor? Dad, bruh, then come on, man. I don't want that. Little Billy grows up, he sees that you're struggling. He's going to ask you, dude, why do you bring me here? If you knew the world was jacked in your time, in your young days, what made you think it would be much better for me? Right? So honestly, maybe you be honest, bro. This idea that you have to continue your genes, I don't know where it comes from. But at the end of the day, if you feel that you have to, you are one of the people possessed by the will. Well, the will to life, I suppose, but not in the same way I have the will to life. My way, I would say, is more eternal than giving birth to flesh and blood. Giving birth to ideas, those are eternal. Those are truly eternal. Flesh and blood, your great-grandchildren can just decide like, nah, I don't care anymore. Or your grandson can just go get an artificial womb and just be like, no, I'm done with these women. Like, I just can't. And that's another thing you got to worry about. Like, can you handle it? Can you handle it? Get your kids, and then she crashes out on you. And then she wants to take them away. Ah, man, nobody needs that right now, especially if you're in America, bro. Like, no one needs that. But it's the same thing here. All these women have lost their minds, bro. They've lost it, right? Because, well, the oligarchs made sure that that happens. You be a man and put your foot down, you go to prison. So, what are you supposed to do? Just gonna have to mind your own business. And be like, okay. You want to be crazy? I'm not going to deal with this. I love juice. Yeah, don't we all? Yeah, the quote-unquote pandemic has ruined everything for when it comes to anime, niche spaces, and society as a whole. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, bro. No doubt that it was all orchestrated, So, go figure. Go figure. But again, all these people who talk about anime falling apart, gaming falling apart, like Asmongold. I'll use him as the best example. Like Asmongold, what are you doing, bro? You have like $30 million in the bank, don't you? Why don't you do something with it? Why you gotta be a hunchback and just sit there and talk and play broken games? He can literally start his own game company. Elon Musk sometimes even talks about starting his own game company, his own bank, his own credit card system because of all this other stuff. But it too is just another trap. Elon Musk is not free to do what he wants, right? He got government subsidies in order to launch his rockets into the sky. Like, let's be honest here. It's like, Elon, your personal wealth could not fund all the rockets that went into space. It could not do it. You needed government handouts. A lot of these mega corporations, government had to help them out, right? What's his name? Zuckerberg was approached as well that, yo, look, we're gonna use this thing of yours as our other means to gather intelligence and data, and if you don't want that, well, we can just take it from you or buy it from you, but you don't really have a say in the matter, right? So yeah, at the end of the day, people like Asmongold, people who speak for us, speak for those who still have hobbies, what's left of them, right? They sure as heck aren't doing anything to preserve these hobbies at all, man. Like, you can't just talk, bro. You can't. You have to build something, especially when you have the money. Man, I'm telling you, man, if I had $100,000, you guys would be so shocked at how much I would have been able to build. You'd be so shocked, like, whoa. To the point where the FBI would come knock at my door and be like, nah, look, nigga, you can't be doing this. This is too much. In fact, we're going to buy you out. Here's $2 billion. Take this money, shut the hell up, and move on with your life. Or else we're just going to make some false accusations about you, get some random females you've never seen before to lie about you, and we'll accuse you of you know what, and that would be the end of your career. The end of you entirely. So, yeah. That is exactly what would happen, y'all. So, that's how it works. Stupid Asmongold. Thanks for telling us. You know Chibi reviews as well? It's like, Chibi, you've been on YouTube for like 10 years, damn it. 10 years. And all the money you made on YouTube, what have you done with it? Nothing. You just literally has been living in the same attic since he graduated high school. Despite all that money. It's like, bro, how are you still in the same attic, bro? How? It don't make any sense, man. All these people who made millions from YouTube, okay, maybe not millions in Chibi's case, but enough money. They should have done something by now. Look at PewDiePie. The guy's the most useless person I've ever seen. Dead useless. He doesn't know what to do with himself. Just utter disgraceful. Don't know why people like the guy. Oh, he's chill, bro. He's nice. Yeah, niceness is not going to preserve your hobbies and culture even. It's just not. Man, these apartments are expensive. I want to buy one, but I can't. Take 20 years of credit. Dude, I'm not even... I gave up, honestly, buying a house. Again, as I said, with the grandpa, he bought a house and he had to move out because it's too expensive to keep the house. Insane, right? When I told my dad the Civil War was boring, he asked how are people fighting and dying boring. That is a hunchback question that your dad gave you, trying to rebuttal you. That is so hunchback. That is so sad. I'm poor relative to the US. I live in PR, so I can afford it right now. Oh, you live in PR? You know, by PR, I thought you meant you live. I mean, you work in public relations. So PR is Puerto Rico. That's where you live. I take it. Okay. Um, that's I want to make. That's why I want to make good a good series. I want to leave behind a legacy and proof of my existence. Yeah. Don't do no Sean James stuff. Don't do none of that. Ain't no legacy dude living behind now. It's just a damn shame. Have you been hearing that Gen Z are living without a job? And the hope is so that business start to get desperate in the future and increase pay and lower work hours. Yeah, that's fundamentally impossible to do. So that's impossible. After all, and it depends. Look, the unemployment rate in this country is 80%, right? It's 80%. I've said before that um, there are 31 million people collecting. Now, the general population of South Africa is, I think, 65 million people. Um, there could be more than that thanks to the foreigners, but 65 million people, 31 million people collecting social grants from 4 million people paying taxes. Pretty insane, isn't it? It's not sustainable. So, yes, even here, a lot of Gen Zers are living without a job, and any argument that no, it's going to force businesses to hire, no, that's not true, bro. The disparity is just going to grow, 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 and grow. That's it. They won't hire, right? America has an enormous population, 300 plus million, and you get taxed to death for everything, literally everything. So 300 million people, one way or the other, they are paying tax for something, right? That's trillions of dollars a year, I'm sure. Trillions of dollars a year that can be used for social factors, I'm sure. So, yeah, in the end, it's not sustainable, bro. American national debt is what, 33 trillion right now? So, it's not sustainable. It's going to pop the day they want it to. Until then, they're going to say, we're going to try to counter it from popping by inflation and tariffs. But we know tariffs don't actually help at all. So, yeah, it's not going to work, man. It's just not going to work at all. Oop. Oh, damn. Grappler, always grappling. Nah. Some are moving to Albania. Some are living in the woods. What, I died? Ah. Living in the woods, building a house and living off the hunting and growing plants. That's nice, but not long term, bro. They're gonna send a bunch of drones to find you over there in the woods and tell you, oh, this is a restricted area, yada, yada, yada. But America is big enough for that to happen. If you don't mind bears and all that, well, hey, then you're all good, man. But I know I can't survive in the woods like that, bro. I just can't. In the end, I need the electricity. I'm connecting with all of y'all, because there's electricity right now, for the time being, right? So I cannot live in the woods. I'm not Tarzan. I'm not born with the will to swing on vines, bro. It's just not who I am. Now I did go on camp, right, where we did all of that. It was fun, but that's not how I'd like to live. That's just not me at all. What's up, Whoa man? What's good? I'm sorry I chuckled a little when you insinuated that Chibi reviews live in an attic, but I still see where you're coming from. Yep, he's definitely in the attic though. That he is, bro. Still has the same wallpaper he had 8 years ago. Like, damn, bro. The anime ended, the manga ended. Can you like get a new waifu in the back? Like, chill. But oh well. Wasn't Chibi at one time engaged to that girlfriend of his? Wonder what happened. She probably wasn't into anime as she made him believe. So he's like, nah, you're not the one. No such thing as the one anyway, but yeah. What can you do? Ah, damn. Yeah, Puerto Rico. Yeah, I was right. I just came back into the house and saw that you're streaming. I went for a walk because I don't want to end up like Sean James. That's what's up, man. Don't end up like Sean James. You just came back from work, you're tired, and you gotta get those 10,000 steps in, or even 5,000. That's what's up, bro. That's what you gotta do. You can listen to the stream while walking. It's really not that hard. Just put your earphones on, and hey, you head outside, walk around the block, and you're good. Real good. So yeah, good on you, man. We are not gonna end up as Sean James here. No to that. What are your thoughts on multiculturalism? Yeah, so it doesn't work. It just doesn't work, bro, at all. It doesn't work at all. I think it's obvious. Now, South Africa has been coined the Rainbow Nation, right? I don't know if you guys still remember that. When Mandela came out, it was the Rainbow Nation because Mandela didn't say, hey, let's decapitate all the white people in here like other African countries. He said, no, let's work together. And so it became the Rainbow Nation. And a multicultural state can work if the laws are actually enforced. If all the culture in the land must submit to the laws of the land. The problem is that the laws are not enforced enough. Somebody from a different culture can say, well, this has been allowed for 1,000,000 years in my culture, and I just got here, and you guys saying this is new to me. That's not an excuse. That is not an excuse. Multiculturalism can work if the laws are, strict and enforced. That's the only way. But in general, it just does not work. It just does not work at all. We don't see things the same. I mean, look at me, right? I'm from the Swazi tribe. And we have our own culture, but I don't agree with it because majority of that culture is all about worshiping the king. And I'm like, screw that. I'm not going to worship this bastard fat nigga. Why? Just because he's the king? Screw that. I don't need that. I just don't need that. And there's a bunch of other things, other ritualistic cultural things that you'd need to do. And it's all revolving around the royal family. And I'm like, no, I cannot subscribe to that. I definitely subscribe to the European Protestant way of being a human being, right? Being a free thinker and so on, and being an individual. So that to me is more appealing. But when you have a multicultural state where there is a deliberate attempt for one culture to overpower the others, then you definitely have a massive problem, right? You have a gigantic problem. A gigantic problem. So It's not going to work. It's not sustainable because in the end, one culture will always want to dominate another. I mean, here, the most popular culture is the Zulu culture, thanks to Shaka Zulu, yada yada yada. But there are other tribes here who have their own way of doing things, and there are squabbles here and there, but it's not all that anymore. Not how it used to be. Not how it used to be. Solar panels are a solution to that. Yeah, bro. Solar panels are $10,000. I don't have $10,000, bro. I would have bought them already if they were affordable. Like nearly every major business in this country has solar panels because it's that bad. So trust me, I would have never complained about electricity at all if I could just get $10,000 and just set up the solar panels. Life would be good. But oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Gotta keep your distance from fighting this character, that's for sure. Come on, just drop dead already, bro. There we go. He's still engaged, but it's a different girl than the one he showed a few years ago. Oh, okay. I still feel sorry for him. She accused him of hitting her with a shovel that basically just fell on her. Unbelievable. You see what I'm talking about, bro? Man, Man, I'd be afraid to get married in America, man. A woman can retract her consent. She can blame you for a shovel that just fell on her and take you to the police. And they'll blame you that the shovel was there to begin with. Or she can trip down the stairs and you go to prison. I mean, I just can't. I just can't, man. Yeah, Chibi kept quiet about the crazy ex, but had to come clean about her when she joined in trying to dox him. Oh my word. Where is the evidence that the woman he's with now is not going to try and do the same thing? It's terrifying, bro. It's completely terrifying. If you don't have like serious leverage, okay, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this. Yeah, damn. Let me keep that under wraps. Can't talk about that here. I'm gonna get on all kinds of trouble, right? This ain't no real red pill channel, especially about that part. Whew, that was close. Yeah, but anyway, there's no evidence that Chibi is safe with the girl he's with right now, like none whatsoever. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Like, bro, she is gonna screw you over the moment you drop your guard or whatever. Like, sorry. Sean James got me working out harder and eating less. I don't think he lives with his mom. In that video, she was probably watching him. He been doing vids in that house for years. Yeah, I also don't think that he does live with his mom, but at least seeing his fall has awakened you, Fatal J, to be like, you know what? Let me get on that treadmill. Let me go pump that iron. Let me go do something, you know? Let me go do something. And that's the bare minimum. Coffee, is Patreon helping you with rent and stuff? Yeah. Yeah, it is, man. Thank goodness for Patreon. But most of it is going to, investing in Coffee Originals, like paying someone for the website, setting up a marketing budget and stuff like that. So there's a long road ahead that requires proper planning and a consistent pool of income, right? So, I mean, I do have a day job as well, so that also helps. And I do own I own a place in the hood where people are paying me rent money for it. So that's also important to stay afloat, you know. Um, but yeah, um, coffee. Even American blacks know about Zulu. You got to admit it. It was impressive when they won a battle with just spears while the British was using guns. I'm surprised no one made a comic of that. Oh, plenty of young black people here made comics of it. It's just no one cared, bro. No one wanted to read it. No one wanted to read it. Niggas here don't read. They don't like reading, bro. They'll read something because it's trending, but they won't actually read it. They'll just maybe buy it. They can talk about it, but not buy it. You know, they can share it, but not read it. It's all so superficial. South Africa is literally the most drunken country in the whole of Africa. Our women are the biggest drunks on the continent. They're the biggest drunks, bro. So, yeah, they ain't got time to read, to care about no Shaka Zulu. There's a new Shaka Zulu TV show right now, season 2. And I find it disgustingly appalling because Shaga's not a hero. Just because he chucked some spears against a white man with a gun back in the old days because they knew the terrain better. Okay, if you want to say that's impressive, fine. But Shaga was a tactical genius who understood the terrain anyway. You get the British who are like, okay, we're going to shoot these nickies and they won't stand a chance because we have spears. I mean, we have guns and they just have spears. We will obliterate them. And Shaga was like, yeah, kodwa ke anazi ukuthi lo mhlaba lo unjani. But in the end, even though Shaga won the first round, in the end, when the British realized in terms of the terrain and everything, they were like, okay, we have them now. We have them. It's over for them. And so it was. And so it was. But oh well, they tried, man. They tried, you know. Did a Japanese artist really blame the audience for the rise in slop? Yes. Yes, he did. He did. I saw a video where a guy built his solar panels. It was from a YouTuber named Great Scott. Yeah, he's probably an engineer or something. And besides, to build solar panels, not only do you need the knowledge, but you do need material, and so you need money. So I wish, bro, that I could just be an engineer and that things can be that easy. But they just are not. But hey, each time there's no electricity, I do have a pretty big battery where I can charge my phone and keep my candle light open, digital flashlight. So, oh well, you know, if I had $10,000, I would have bought the solar panels, and I'd probably live stream almost every day, right? Oh no! Oh, thank goodness he missed. What are your thoughts on interracial marriage? I have no problems with it. I think you should marry who wants to marry you. I think you should date who is attracted to you, who is willing to cooperate with you. I have no problems with it. I understand some cases or disputes about, hey, it messes up the genes or something. I find that as hogwash. Mixing allows for beautiful people to exist. I'm sorry, but that is the case. When you just have like one group of people marrying amongst each other, eventually those people look like hobgoblins, right? In the end, you're gonna have to marry your first cousin, and you don't want that to happen. They're gonna be born with yak teeth, and so on. So, interracial relations, yeah, it keeps beauty alive. It really does. But that's not my main argument. My main argument is be with who's willing to cooperate with you. And doesn't matter what, race they from. Of course, there'll be cultural differences, but obviously I'm sure you would be taking that into account. Actually, when Chibi came clean, he came clean. He talked about how the crazy ex had been doing weird behaviors from the beginning, and he kept putting up with it until he had health issues. You see how many L's men gotta take, bro? Like, I'm telling you, man, as a guy, you do take a lot of L's. You do. And you secretly hope that her insanity will go away. It won't go away. It just will not go away. You putting up with it is you giving her permission to keep up with it. So, yeah, that's the issue. So, good on Chibi for saying, woman, I'm out because you're insane. Good on him, but that could still happen again. So, hey, Chibi, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Good luck to you. Coffee, I'm from Mali. Watching now about us. You're from Mali. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Mali is a disaster, as far as I know. But hey, which country isn't in this continent right now? But okay, that's pretty cool. I was flirting with a girl. She was real cute and she was nice to me, but she was delusional. She thought she could become a therapist by just going to college, and she knew nothing about therapy. Bruh, it's like these nurses who want to be nurses but know nothing about having the character of a nurse, actually being that compassionate that you want to take care of people. They are delusional. There was this one woman who came to the store, the bookstore, and one of my colleagues referred to her as Dr. So-and-so. Because her, ID saved in our system that's her name, Dr. So-and-so, right? And she said, oh, don't call me a doctor. And the guy said, but you are a doctor though, right? And she said, yes, I am, but I don't like being called a doctor. And he was like, wait, what? Why? She couldn't even explain herself as to why you shouldn't call me a doctor, even though I am a doctor. But then he asked, okay, what do you specialize in? What type of doctor are you? And then she said, oh, I'm just a doctor. Are you a general practitioner then? Oh, I'm just a doctor. Like, brain dead, bro. This woman gonna be prescribing medication to people that are just gonna make their heads explode. Complete airhead. And somehow she has a doctorate working at a hospital, but doesn't like being called a doctor and doesn't know what type of doctor she is. It's over. Completely over. This time he said he isn't being an enabler in the relationship and is being a real partner. So he trusts the girl he's currently engaged to. Good luck to you, bro. That's all I can say. What I know for a fact is women always change, man. They always change. And if you don't have the will and stamina to be the anchor that, look, I think you're too far up the stratosphere right now, woman. You need to calm down. Then best believe that she's gonna go way up there, and things won't be the same ever again. So, oh damn, I'm being totally obliterated. Oh boy. Ouch. Shonen Jump can be restored if the editors and manga artists themselves start listening to Coffee. Yes, bro. Indeed, indeed. But they won't do it. Too fixated on the bag. In the end, it's like, guys, just give these artists more time. How's about you do a seasonal magazine instead of a weekly one? Of course, there are seasonal magazines in Jump, well, in Shueisha, right? But of course, they are less popular, the works in there, because they are not so consistent. But again, consistency is quantity, and quantity is, well, disposable, forgettable. And so here we are. They can't change their business model. It's too late. It's way too late. Ah, damn. There was a YouTuber who got arrested after his ex attacked him. Because she did not want to watch their kid while he was at work, he got the charges dropped after he showed her some recordings. Can you imagine, man? What in the hell is that supposed to be? Like, why we gotta deal with this? It's the world we are in, But that's exactly my point. That's exactly my point, bro. Imagine all these. A lot of women like to post their L's on TikTok, right? Things they got away with. And a lot of red pill dudes will post these videos and be like, look at them. Look at them, man. They truly don't care about what you have to go through. There was one woman as well who complained about the husband working all the time, and she's a stay-at-home mother. He's making a lot of money, but she hates him because he's never home, basically, and he's always tired. Like, wait, what? She posted that on TikTok. The husband saw it and decided to pack his bags, and then she started crying because, well, she could not get the bag from him and screw him over. That's why she was upset. Not because she knows what she was doing was wrong, but because she couldn't get away with it. And knowing this, chihuahua, bro. Love is the last thing that can be on your mind. Hey, Coffee, have you by chance made Bloody Hell into an ebook yet? I heard a lot of indie authors make good money. Bro, I've been selling Bloody Hell digital copies for I don't know how long now on Patreon. The links have always been in description box. You can find them there, right? And of course, in terms of making good money with them, it depends on how many people know about it, right? I've made some good passive income with it. Shout out to all the people who have purchased it. But yeah, it's always been there. It's on Patreon. The link is in the description box. So, yeah. Ah, damn. I know there's Kubo and Barnes and Nobles that do ebook publishing. If you talk about it like that, ebook publishing like that, you don't make as much money as you think. You don't. If Bloody Hell gets an anime adaptation, which studio style would you want it to be? The studio that animated the first season of Attack on Titan, I would greatly appreciate it if they could do it. Honestly, I forgot their name. Wit Studios, yes, Wit Studios. That would be a great studio to adapt Bloody Hell. Other studios, at the top of my head, I can't think of one right now. I don't want to say MAPPA, no thanks. Like, nah. Ah, damn it. My dad got a cold. Got a cold. He was coughing and went to the pharmaceutical store, and the nurse told him to take this, and it got worse. And he went to the doctor, and he said, "This makes it worse. Why did you take this?" You see these nurses, man? Bro, you should see the nurses in this country, bro. They are out here just chilling, yapping, gossiping, and talking about their boyfriends. And on their breaks, their taxi driver boyfriends will come through and do what they gotta do with them and take long breaks while somebody's dying in the corner over there. Like, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. So, yeah, sorry that your dad had to go through that. The incompetence, bro. Honestly, I'm afraid to go to the hospital. I'm glad I had all the surgeries I had to have before things got completely monkeyfied, right? But I'm not going to the hospital anymore. I get sick now, I'm dying right here. I just don't care, bro. I just can't. I just cannot whatsoever. It's important to vet the woman you want to be with in a relationship first. She has to show that she respects you. Yeah, she can do that for like even 6 months, bro. And then when you make it official, yeah, you gonna see flames. You gonna see flames, bro. You might wonder, like, why though? Why does it gotta be this way? Man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm speaking from experience and just from seeing people go through it as well. So, yeah, it is what it is. What's the weirdest story, concept, premise that you remember reviewing from your paid reviews? Ah, man, that's a tough one, bro. The weirdest one? Oh, it's that guy who ended up reporting me. He reported me, and I was forced to give him a refund. That guy's story made no damn sense. It was weird. The artwork, all of it was totally jacked. It was a total mess, bro. And instead of receiving the information to help him, well, he reported me. He was mad. So, yeah, that was definitely the weirdest one. Like, nigga, are you serious? So, yeah. Definitely one to remember. MAPA would not respect your art style and use CGI. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, UFO Table as well. Yes. They are very good. Very good. Fate Stay Nights and Demon Slayer. Terrible story, but animation, art, very good. So yeah, UFO Table or Wit Studio. Definitely. I didn't like the Dandadan anime. The manga is much better. I didn't like it either. But I stopped reading the manga. It just got too insane. Doesn't have a point anymore. So I just left it alone. Even though the manga do convey it well enough, the anime gives that nice creativity. Yeah, it does that, but totally unwatchable for me. As a manga reader, they did not respect the art style and the budget went all on the fights. You could see it in the first episode. No manga truly does though. Animators take more shortcuts. Yeah, they do. I mean, they have to. They kind of have to. I like the art style better in the anime. Oh, he became a villain because he got his testicles back. Whatever, that is just too ridiculous, man. I just can't even care. Like, what is he trying to say with that? That's zombie food. In the beginning, I also liked Dandadan, because each time they defeated a quote unquote villain, the backstory was so rich with heart. But it just became a formula and no longer something to even remember. So, eh. Should you make manga and comics if you don't have a story to tell? No, you shouldn't. You should not, because that means you fall under the category of having a silly goose time. If you have nothing to say, definitely don't make a story, bro. Like, I mean, okay, no one can stop you, but don't do you're wasting everyone's time. Legit, you're just wasting everyone's time. So, of course, I'm gonna say don't do it. Others most likely would say, oh, do whatever you want. Honestly, I don't like wasting people's time, and y'all shouldn't waste people's time either. Oh, now there's an immortal villain and he can't help anyone. Oh well, poor guy. Dandadan is a silly story, not a berserk level series. It doesn't take itself seriously. Yeah, yeah. In the end, man, again, not all of us can make, you know, meaningful stories or have anything to say. I think if people understood what they were, to understand that you're a hunchback or you're half a hunchback, even if you're half a hunchback, half a zombie, you're still of no real use to society. You're just a consumer and cannot be trusted, and you will abandon those who need you at the last second. Just like one zombie who admitted to me that he is half a zombie. And so what did he do? I said something he didn't like and he ran off. So if people know they are zombies, in fact, they shouldn't even talk to me. They shouldn't. Because I will eventually say something you don't like. Should have seen that coming. So I don't know why that zombie didn't. So I even said before that, dude, you need to chill with this ridiculous mass consumption of yours. You're not processing nor digesting anything I'm saying. You're just eating it up. Like, what's wrong with you? Zombie, that's what's wrong with him. Ay, ay, ay. What? Making a manga is no joke. I'm making the second chapter of my fan manga, and it's destroying me. After this, I'm gonna take a break and start if you have no story. Yeah, yeah. It ain't easy, man. Never jump into something if you know it's not really you. You might like something, but it's only going to keep working out if you love it. That's all there is to it. Oh, no way. I haven't made it because I'm figuring out that the route, I know what I want to tell, but not the in between, so to speak. Yeah, it takes time, bro. It takes time. So you just gotta sit in the chamber and plan everything out properly. You know, you don't wanna just jump in there and, you know, mess things up. If we purchase a paid review from you, can we ask for custom titles? For example, something like, this is a crazy manga, etc. Instead of just paid. Yeah, of course you can. You know, I just put paid review there because I'm letting other people know that, yeah, you can get your own review too. So yeah, you can get custom titles, obviously. Oh, I got him. What game are you playing? Um, it is DNF Duel. Oh, damn, he didn't die? Now I'm gonna die. Damn it. It's very fun, bro. Just, it's in, it's insanely difficult. Not with the controls, not with the execution of combos. It's just in this game you cannot win if you are set against the wrong character. I don't care how skilled you are in this game. You can't win if you are fighting a long range character and you are a short range character. You're not gonna win. Closing in the gap is going to be the hardest thing ever. Like, I'm the character I'm playing with, this female chick, right? Striker, she is a close range fighter, right? And I always have to get in close, while this guy, Hitman, he has a lot of long range attacks. So it's not easy. But it's fun, and I really like the sound effects of like of impact. They're very loud and spot on. Very cool. Great impact. Honestly, when you're defending as well in this game, sometimes it feels unresponsive, but maybe that's just me. Struggling with a fan manga, more than half the work is already done. Have I heard of Dog Ningen? Nah, I don't know it. Coffee, would you keep making shonen manga or would you ever make a seinen story? I would say Bloody Hell is seinen, just with a shonen style. I honestly feel it is seinen. Um, so yeah, in the end, yeah, it is seinen. I would consider it seinen. So yeah, I'll always like shonen, of course, but the themes that I'm exploring are very much so seinen, bro. Ah, come on. What? Yeah, I ain't gonna win this one. I think screen tone should be excited now. The reason they exist was because back then they could only print in 100 ink or to 0. Okay. Do you watch Punk the God? I actually do sometimes. I actually do. I don't know how Punk can sit for 6 hours and play Street Fighter. I mean, he is like a world champion. Fine. Fine. I guess I can't complain there. I mean, that's why he's Punk, right? Because he plays for 6 hours a day, probably even more. But yeah, he's pretty entertaining. I do feel sorry for him when he loses matches, though. I've been watching him since Street Fighter V, along with IDOM, a lot of the Street Fighter players. So I know quite a few of them, you know, just from watching. So yeah, they're pretty fun. Oh, come on. No way. Yeah, just can't win with a. This is a bad matchup. You can't win. Just can't win, bro. Have you heard of the genocide guy, Gunocide guy? Oh no, he's a man who was coughing, going to the female employees at a drive-thru and realized he was being recorded. Uh, Damn, okay. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Avatar 7 Heavens looks like barf, of course. I mean, a one-legged avatar with a wooden leg? Give me a break, man. Like, that thing is dead before arrival. Dead before arrival. Oh, Lord, what are you saying, bro? Avatar 7 Heavens look alright, but they did Korra so dirty. Bro, you can't be serious. How is a one-legged avatar and another can we get a male avatar again? Right? Why does it have to be a one-legged female who's a kid and brown? Again. Like, come on. No ways. I ain't watching that ish, bro. No ways. Many times there isn't anything to tell because the series I'm doing, its manga is done. You have to be creative and keep the same energy of the OG series. You know, again, it's not so black and white. It's really not so black and white now. It's really not. And I've said why. Bro, I was making DBZ fan manga from grade 6 to 12. And these weren't 10-page books. I was making 40 plus pages in leftover journal spirals. I was completing one a year. That's pretty cool. I kind of used to do that in grade 6 as well. So I know what you mean. Screen tone should be gone. Just use gray and it makes an annoying pattern in the screens. I think I know what you mean. Coffee should get into Five Nights at Freddy's. It's about 5 kids going missing in a pizzeria like Chunky Cheese, and it turns out they were killed by a security guard who then stuffed the kids. Damn, okay. That sounds interesting, I guess. I'll try. Again, man, I don't have the capacity to engage in new things anymore, really. Me playing a game here keeps my mind stimulated. So while I talk, so engaging in something I don't have a true interest in is very hard. Like, I can read history books because I have a true interest in knowing. But in general, I don't like watching or reading anything just because it's good. I don't have the capacity for something just because it's good anymore. It has to be that I need something from it. You know, if I don't need anything from it, then I can't really engage in it. At the time when I started, I didn't even know what manga was. I was just basing my drawings off the DBZ anime. Same here. into the animatronic suits, and now they haunt. Okay. Shonen Jump dropped an editor's advice book called Shonen Jump Guide to Making Manga. Oh, for real? Never heard of it. I have to look it up. I'll have to look it up. Oh man, I gotta make my tea right now. So what tea you talking about, bro? You know, 2021 to 2023, I was so stressed that it completely wiped out my digestive system. Where, now maybe I shouldn't share that, but stress can really mess up your body, man. Like my digestive system doesn't work like a normal person does. I need a special tea to make it work. I have to drink it every night before going to bed, or else, bro, or else great pain and agony awaits me. So yeah, try to limit your stress, people. Try to limit your stress, because a natural bodily function, I don't have it anymore. It's just nuts. But that's reality. Oh, nuts. Do you remember what your reaction to the basement reveal in Attack on Titan? Do I remember my reaction? Oh, wait, yeah, for season 3? Oh boy. Man, it was... dude, it was insane. It was one of the best reveals ever, man, ever. Like, dude, I could lose my mind just talking about it all the time. That's how good it was. So yeah, I was so satisfied, and it was, I don't even have the words, bro. It was just so great. It was equally amazing as the Bleach reveal when we found out Zangetsu was actually Yuha Baha living in Ichigo. That was one hell of a mind warp. So yeah. No. Oh, okay. Aw, damn. Have I read Tokyo Ghoul? No, I haven't. And yes, I tried to watch the anime. Season 1 was alright. Season 2, disaster. 3, just a disgrace to all humanity, bro. So I have not read it. And I don't think I actually did like it anyway. But yeah, I'd like to read it, to be honest, but I ain't got the time like that, you know. And as I said, don't have the capacity anymore. If If they make a series of a fire avatar, it should be male. Yeah, when's that gonna be though? You know, when is that gonna be, bro? Should have been now. Seriously. Should have been now, man. How the hell does this dude deal so much damage with such little moves? Mm-mm-mm. No way. Ah, no way. Imagine they censor this game all of a sudden and they remove it from Steam. Steam has already begun removing games, thanks to, you know, the crazy feminists who are saying we're protecting the children, but they don't mind other things like Cornhub and whatnot. Like, sure you are. It's just worthless lies. Try and destroy our hobbies, you know. This is nuts. I can't believe I lost. Have I heard about the anime Takopi's Original Sin? I read the manga, bro. I read the manga, and there was a time I spoke about it, but then I kind of crashed out while talking about it. And I totally enjoyed the manga. I'm sure the anime is just as good, looks good, but I already know the ending. And it's all about do not try to forcibly change the circumstance. Somebody ends up dying. I very much so like it. I don't feel the need to watch it though. I read it like twice. That's how good it was. Oh, look what we have here. Vicious is apologizing. Why are you apologizing, man? Like, how am I supposed to trust you? Like, come on, man. That's not how you make a good first impression, you know? So, yeah, gonna be hard to trust you. Ah, damn. Let me quickly make that tea right now. You know, I hate summer, but I'm looking forward to it this time. I hate it because of all the stupid animals that, you know, end up coming up over here, like lizards and bugs and so on. So disgusting. But it's been a very cold winter. I just can't deal with it anymore. Have I read Hell's Paradise? Now, the premise looks so generic, an immortal type sword fighter. Oh man, it just felt too generic, bro. So I just could not. I'm not mad at Vicious Kingslayer. I don't even know who Vicious is. But if you watched yesterday's live stream, he was crashing out, calling me names. I'm not mad. This is what normal hunchbacks do. He's apologizing now. I have no idea why. I'm not going to take his word for it. I don't trust him. So, whatever. You inspired me to get my life together. I no longer pee in bottles because of you. Dude, what? Damn, is that an expression or did you literally pee in bottles, bro? Well, if you did that literally, well, I'm glad, bro. Now you can be more civilized, you know? Yes, Olaf. SA is in the southern hemisphere. The tea is called rooibos with the Sina. Helps you digest, helps your digestion system, I should say. Yeah, I know it's summer for you guys there. Lucky you. Though I know your winter's worse than obviously in Africa. But man, it's freezing, bro. It's freezing. Hands always cold, feet always cold, poor circulation. Ah, I hate it. I really, really hate it. Damn, dude, you really peed in bottles. What? Where? Nick, what? Oh, my word. Well, I'm glad you stopped, dude. But that's just insane. That's just insane. But I'm glad you stopped. Please forgive. I don't say you should trust. Okay. Well, I was never mad. So there's nothing really to forgive, bro. I never took it to heart. I didn't feel hurt. So I suppose it's all good. So no problem. Oh, come on. What? Wow. Damage is absolutely useless. Damn it. Unreal. Oh, you still a fan of white manga? Okay, well, fine, bro. You don't have to defend him here. He doesn't need anyone to defend him, right? So it is what it is. Damn. You know, the character designs in this game are just so good. Very good. And I like how they actually don't have real names. They just, we just know them by their title. Crusader, Grappler, Inquisitor. It's pretty cool. But I really like the designs, man. Whoa. It looks like Guilty Gear because it was made by the same studio that made Guilty Gear. So yeah, that's why. I played Guilty Gear. It's man, it's too difficult. And someone did say that it was made for autistic people. I kind of agree. It's so unnecessarily difficult, man. Slow. I don't know how anyone plays that game. I just don't know. Apple Black would be good if Sano wasn't given a power up so early. And if there wasn't so much exposition, and if maybe Sano, aside from not being given a power up early, if he had a legitimate goal that wasn't so lame, bro. I remember first reading Sano's goal, which was, I'm going to forgive. If you forgive, you don't have a goal. You just remain in stagnation. How do you move forward if you want to forgive your enemies? Right? Well, in the context of a story like that, you don't forgive your enemies in the beginning of a story. You forgive them much later. I mean, come on. Where's the drama then? So, there was a lot, actually, that was going to just bury Apple Sack anyway. So, it's unfortunate. Whatever. His fault. Gonna have to deal with it. We're gonna end up like Sean James. At least he did something, but still, winning the most disabled award. Like, as he said, I'm an award-winning manga artist now. Like, nigga, please, bro. Oh, no way. Damn it. Your characters have to struggle to earn what they're trying to achieve. Yeah. Yeah, Vicious. I said we're good, man. I said we are good. Man, this guy's charging is unblockable, unstoppable. It's not a very balanced game, I would honestly tell you that. Not balanced at all. Ah, damn. Phew. What about that one character he made, that vitiligo, that turned into an actual map later on in the novel? I didn't read it. Don't know. I don't know. Where can you purchase Bloody Hell? Well, the digital versions are available in the description box right now, or you can wait for the physicals, which should come out end of August. So it's up to you, but link in the description box. I'm really good at this game. I try, bro, but the difficulty is at 50%. Any higher, I can go higher with certain characters, but poof. This game's not balanced, man. But thanks. I am drinking the tea. White manga left Nigeria, but calls himself white. Yeah, he said he calls himself white because all his Nigerian friends in high school made fun of him for being light skinned. See how crazy niggas can be? Like, really though? Really? Oh, you're light skinned, you're a whitey, ha ha ha. And then he took that as a badge of honor and made it his official name, his pen name. Okay. What are you going to do? A podcast with Luck Lubo. When? Maybe on Thursday. If it is the luck I think you're talking about. On Thursday. It's weird that Sano is ready to forgive while the enemy are still continuing to harm him and his people. It doesn't make sense, bro. It just doesn't make any sense. So everything just falls dead in the water day one. I got more confused and weirded out. Exactly. I think I answered your question, Vicious. I said, one, bloody hell, link in the description box. I'm going to do the podcast with Locke on Thursday. That's if he's available. So yeah. Okay, that's gonna be it for this live stream. We spoke about the Japanese guy. If you want more context on him, well, videos on Patreon, $3 access. So y'all can go check it out there. Trojan horse, man, Trojan horse that this new Japanese magazine trying to sell in the US. It's people will be so demoralized when they pick that thing up, and they're giving it out for free anyway, which makes you wonder, like, wait, aren't you guys trying to make money? Aren't you trying to stimulate your economy? Aren't you trying to increase your pie, the pool of income? Why are you giving away this book for free then? Hey, as they gave away the Trojan horse to the people of Troy They opened the gates, came in, the horse, dudes were inside, killed everybody. Sure as hell gonna kill people's spirit the moment they receive that book, that magazine, open it, and they see all kinds of garbage in there. Gonna be a damn tragedy, bro. Damn tragedy. But oh well. That's it for now, y'all. Tomorrow should be having a live stream with Pierce. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, everybody gotta work on their product. And yeah, for those on Patreon, I will be showing progress with the website sometime in the week. Probably this weekend. Y'all gonna see how cool it is, right? I didn't do it myself. I just said what I wanted, and I paid. I paid for what I needed. So it's nothing fancy, really. It's just having something there. That's what matters, having that website. All right, y'all. Peace out.